Dearest love, it was a very nice costume, fashioned after one that was worn by the other artist. It was a royal robe with a crown, and it was to be her announcement as the new gospel artist of the time. The makeup artist was present, and many others came to offer their help to make her what the people would love to see. This young lady stood confused and drew close to her pastor, who was spearheading the whole debut, and said, "Please, without all this, can't we just put the music in the public domain for people to listen and be blessed?" The producer had heard her and laughed and said, "Hey, you don't want to eat? This is a business. The days where you just sang gospel anyhow is gone. Now you must fit the profile the people want to see and choose your lyrics and beats to get them, or else you will fail in your music career. Please just allow and we will make you great." Young lady in her late 20s with many years ahead of her, she had just gotten a job as a secretary. She was not earning much. The producers were telling her that with her talent, she would be making millions soon. And yet she stood there shaking her head and said she cannot do what they were asking of her. They said the dressing and stuff did not matter, and it was the heart. They told her she should look at those before her and how they had made it, and that she was no better than them, for some were greater ministers, and yet she still said no and walked out. A couple of months later, she heard her song on the radio. One of the popular gospel artists was singing it as her own. She only thanked God that she had done something worth putting out in the world. She writes many songs and still sings in church, yet many do not know her. Only her songs and the God she sings about. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." But Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew chapter 4, verse 3 to 4. For the sake of their daily bread, many will merchandise the gospel in the name of Christ. But though they may fool men, God is not fooled. Then the devil took him to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus replied, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Matthew chapter 4, verse 5 to 7. Many, for the sake of personal glory, will put the Lord to test, stepping and calling God to step in after them. They may look appealing to the people, but God judges all. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you will fall down and worship me." "Away from me, Satan," Jesus declared, "for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve Him only." Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 to 10. Many speak what the world wants to hear, dress as to please the world, walk and live as the world desires, that they may attain fame and popularity. With the deception of the devil, we believe that as we mention the name of Christ and apply our trade in the house of the Lord, we are different from those of the world. But do not lose sight of this. Not everyone who says to me, "Lord, Lord," will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons and perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 to 23. Do not fail the test. The Lord led the way as to how it should be done. Follow him. Stay blessed, trust and obey, for there is no other way. Okay.